Welcome back friends, this is Professor Nilesh Kade and in this video lecture series we are learning about the GST registration. Let us start with the GST identification number. Now what happens after you take the GST registration? The first thing that will happen to you is you will get a GST identification number, GST ID. This is very essential, and only because of this people get registered in the GST, because they get identification number. And because they are getting identification number, all the benefits that are going to happen to any registered person will flow to him or her, only because they have this identification number. Now what is the composition? Let us understand. There are in this GST identification number there are 15 digit alphanumeric code. Alphanumeric means there are alphabets and there are numerical numbers. Now first two codes will be the state code. So for Karnataka it is 29 this way, and this is the PAN of the entity. Every registered entity will have the PAN, right? Permanent account number. It is 10 digit code. So 2 plus 10 is 12. So these are the 12 digits. And then the 13th code is the entity code. If it is your principal place of business, you will have this as 1. If it is your secondary place of business, this number will turn out to be 2. If this is the third place of business, then it will be turning to it as number 3. Right? And then the blank digit, this is the blank digit. This is kept, 14th digit is kept for the future use. GST Council thinks that yes, this number can be used in future to further classify GST identification number, and this is the 15th number, that is the check digit. What it works like: if everything is correct previously, all these 14 digits are correct, then this number will be generated. Otherwise this number will not be generated, and that is what it is called as check digit, right? So this is all about GST identification number. Let us first understand the HSN. Before going for registration, let us first understand the HSN. HSN is Harmonized System of Nomenclature, or simply HSN. This is how we pronounce it as. What is this Harmonized System of Nomenclature? It is a coding system. Generally refers to this. Okay, it is a coding system. Now why this coding system is required? It is a multi-purpose international product nomenclature developed by World Customs Organization, WCO, and it first came into effect in 1988. The main purpose, here is your purpose, the main purpose of HSN is to classify goods from all over the world in a systematic and logical manner. So classification is really very important, friends. How do you classify all the goods into one particular segment? It becomes really difficult for any country, for any company, or for any small business to classify the product. If you ask me how do you classify tea powder and sugar, I will classify it as the tea or kitchen ingredients. I will not classify it into my wardrobes or wearables, right? So that is what is the classification that I can do. But the World Customs Organization has classified all the goods. World Customs Organization, it has classified all the goods into HSN system. Now how many goods are there? Almost 98%. 100% is not possible, it is never possible. So 98%, as the WCO says, 98% of all the goods available in the world have been classified already into HSN, right? So this brings uniform classification of goods and facilitates international trade. Why international trade is necessary, you might be knowing, because this is not an economics class. International trade is necessary because see, natural resources are found in only few places in the world, and therefore for general understanding, for general lifestyle, there is necessity of international trade, right? And therefore to facilitate international trade, HSN code has been generated? Because let me give you an example. Take the example of sugar. In English we call it as sugar. In Hindi we call it as shakkar. In Marathi we call it as sakhar. In Kannada we call the sugar as sakkare. In other languages they have different words for this one particular product. Similarly, if you go to some other countries, they have their own name, their own coding system for the product called sugar, and therefore to bring everything into one particular classification, they have this system, harmonized system of nomenclature as the classification system. Now, India is a member of World Customs Organization since 1971, and therefore it is following HSN. So it was originally using 6-digit HSN codes to classify commodities for customs and central excise. Later, customs and central excise added 2 more digits to make the codes more precise and resulting in an 8-digit classification. So India follows the 8-digit classification of HSN. India used to follow earlier 6-digit classification, right? So how it is done? There are examples, we'll see. So how many structures are, what is the structure of HSN? The structure contains 21 sections with 99 chapters, about 1244 headings and 5224 subheadings. This is the structure of HSN, friends. Please understand, HSN is a very big task which has been successfully done by WCO, that is World Customs Organization. Each section is divided into chapters. Every section is divided into chapters. Each chapter is divided into headings, and each heading is divided into subheadings. That is how is the structure. So section and chapter titles describe broad categories of goods, while heading and subheading describes the product in detail. HSN codes will remove the need to upload the detailed description of the goods. This will save time and make filing easier since GST returns are automated. So this is again very important point in case of the GST, because HSN codes will remove the need to upload the detailed description of the goods. So if I want to purchase, let me give an example. If I want to purchase a mobile from some other country, then I will have to import, and if I want to import, then I will have to give all the specifications. Yes, this is the model of this company, and it has this much of this is the capacity of battery, this is the capacity of its RAM, this is the capacity of its ROM, that is internal memory, and it is expandable up to this much. Then processor codes, there are many other things, technical details we will have to give. That is what we are speaking about, the detailed description of the goods. So HSN will do your work. You need not describe everything in detail. You just give the code number and the rest will be done automatically, because GST returns we are filing it automatically only, that is online. Hope you are understanding this. So there is an example, handkerchiefs made of textile matters. So this is the HSN code 621390. So first 2 digits, next 2 digits, next 2 digits. These are the 6 digits which is given by the WCO. But India has deeper classification of 2 more digits. What is that? We will see later. First we will understand this 62. What is this 62? The first 2 digits, 62 represents the chapter number for articles of apparel and clothing accessories, not knitted or broached. Next 2 digits, that is 13. These 2 digits represent the heading number for handkerchiefs. So this 13 indicates that as handkerchiefs. 90 is the product code for handkerchiefs made of other textile materials. So this is the classification that is done by WCO, but India has 2 more digits for a deeper classification, and it says if the handkerchiefs are made from a man-made fiber, then the HSN code is 10, next 2 digits. If the handkerchiefs are made from silk or waste from silk, then HSN code is 19, the next 2 digits. So this is how the further classification goes. So if you import handkerchiefs which are made from silk, then this is the code 9, this is the code, 8-digit code you will have to give while filing your GST returns, so that the government will understand, yes, this person has bought silk handkerchiefs to his place of business, right? So let us understand, according to turnover we have, this is the classification. So the obvious question is, HSN code is there, while filing returns we will have to give the HSN code, that is fine. But friends, everybody follow the HSN codes? The answer is no, because the turnover, if your turnover is less than 1.5 crore, then you need not submit the HSN codes. You need not declare the HSN code, because your turnover is less 1.5 crore per year, okay, per annum, that is what we are speaking about. And if it is between 1.5 crore to 5 crore, then 2 digits of HSN code is necessary. If your turnover is more than 5 crores, then minimum 4 digits are necessary. And for all others, including import and export, 8-digit HSN number must be given. This is all about HSN. And similarly, we have SSC codes, that is Service Accounting Code in GST. What is this Service Accounting Code? Like goods, services are also classified uniformly for recognition, measurement and taxation. Codes for services are called as Services Accounting Code or SAC. Please understand, Services Accounting Code, right? So legal documentation and certification services concerning patents, copyrights and other intellectual property rights, this is the Services Accounting Code 99, 82 and 13, right? So the first 2 digits are same for all services, that is 99. For all services we have this code as 99. Next 2 digits, that is 82, represent the major nature of service, that is in this case it is legal services. So 82 represents legal services. Last 2 digits represent the detailed nature of the service, that is legal documentation for patents. So by this code I will understand that. So 99 is service, 82 is major nature of service, that is legal services 82, and this is patent filing service. So this is patent filing service I have understood through this number, right? So SSC is the innovation of India, right? It is the innovation of India, and Indians follow this SSC code. There is only one point which you should mind of GST registration rules. Now, before going for registration chapter, you should understand this. There is something called as Rule 18. The display of registration certificate and GST-IN on the name board. Please understand, every registered person shall display his certificate of registration in a prominent location at his principal place of business and at every additional place or places of business. Please understand, this is very important point. You might have seen, friends, you might have seen this kind of registration certificate wherever you go, in a retail shop or in any other shop. GST-IN number is displayed. It is because of this Rule 18. Every registered person shall display. It means they have to display this certificate of registration, right? So every registered person shall display his GST identification number on the name board exhibited at the entry of his principal place of business and at every additional place or places of business, right? Hope you have understood this point. So registration, please understand that prominent location is very important, that every person who visits your place of business must see easily this registration certificate. So this is the Rule 18. If this is not done, then proper officer will take proper action against such registered person. If he is not registered person, then no proper officer will take any action, right? So that is all about the prerequisites about the registration. So next class onwards we are starting with the chapter of registration in GST. We are starting with section 22. Please stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, right? Nilesh Kale. Thank you and stay safe.